happy Valentine's Day. I love our little Valentine's theme background on Unscripted tonight. Good surprise there, Dan. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you all are having a lovely Friday and a wonderful Valentine's Day. Now, it's been pretty quiet around northern Michigan weather-wise, but Joe has been talking about our next system that is heading our way.
There's always one, right?
There's always the next system, yep.
Yeah, that'll get in here tonight, later tonight. So, last Saturday, it was a kind of a snowy weekend. And I don't know if you remember that, Maya, but it was a little snowy.
Yeah.
We're going to have a similar situation kind of play out again this weekend. It's quiet still, though. So, you're on your Valentine's theme. Maybe you got plans next couple of hours. Still looks okay. But later tonight, we're going to get some of that snow in here through the weekend. So coming up in weather, we'll take a look at how much snow over the course of the weekend. And it looks cold next week again, Maya. So we'll talk about that too.
All right. Thank you so much, Joe. We'll catch up with you after our first commercial break. But our top story tonight on Unscripted, we have a new scam alert to pass along to you tonight. And this one could put your sensitive information at risk. So scammers are putting fake QR code stickers onto parking meters all across Traverse City. And parking officials who I spoke with today say it's very important that we stay vigilant before we pay to park. QR codes seem to be everywhere these days.
Restaurants, various places that we use today all have QR codes.
While they can provide a quick and easy way to do things like pay to park,
that's really where we use QRs the most, is so that way people can scan to pay for metered parking through Park Mobile.
Scammers are now using them to potentially drain your wallet or access your personal information.
We're falling victim to that as well.
Traverse City Parking Services staff say fraudulent QR code stickers are being placed over existing legitimate Park Mobile QR codes on meters throughout the city.
So the ones we've noticed recently have actually been 10 over the past 2 weeks. We removed them immediately.
If you do scan a fake QR code, it could lead to fraudulent payment sites or could download a virus onto your cell phone.
People that are trying to steal your information or get payments, you could be incidentally signing up for, to give your money away to a scammers.
So how can you tell if the QR code on a parking meter is legitimate? Well, check this out. Genuine Park Mobile QR codes will have a P branded right in the middle, and it'll be printed directly on the official sticker.
Whereas a fraudulent, is just a homemade. You can see the discoloration. It's made from a label maker and stuck over an existing QRs.
City parking staff do check parking meters daily for fraudulent QR codes and credit card skimmers, but there are steps that you can take to protect yourself from the scam. Download the Park Mobile app on your phone to avoid scanning QR codes. Use a trusted QR code scanner app instead of your phone's camera. Some apps will scan the code and alert you if a link seems suspicious. And again, if a QR code looks suspicious, don't scan it and report it to parking services.
We just want to make sure that no one is accidentally paying a site that is not trusted.
The best advice to avoid these QR code scams is always to go with your gut.
If something feels off, it probably is off.
And this is actually the second parking-related scam in Traverse City in the past 2 weeks. The other scam going around is a text message claiming that you have an unpaid parking citation. Now, in Traverse City, they will never send you text messages to say you have a citation. They still send out mail notifications if they have anything they need to tell you, and they won't, again, seek any sort of payment through a text message. Now, if you see a QR code that you think is a little suspicious on a parking meter, contact parking services. And if you get a text message like that, also contact parking services. Now, something that's worth mentioning, we know that this scam is going around in other cities as well. It's not just Traverse City. It's happening all over the country. So even if you're watching this and you're not in Traverse City, it could still be happening in your community, and maybe parking officials just aren't aware of it yet. So just always be on the lookout, because scammers are getting a lot savvier today with the different ways that they do try to scam us. Okay, on a brighter note, let's look ahead to an event happening this weekend. The Home Builders Association of Northwest Michigan is inviting you to the 2025 Home Expo in Traverse City this weekend. The Home Expo showcases home design trends, innovative products, and more. And this year's theme, sticking with Valentine's Day, a special Love Your Home theme. Love that. It will include nearly 200 booths and several seminars. The Home Expo will take place at the Grand Traverse Resort and Spa in Grand Traverse County. It will be Saturday and Sunday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Tickets will be available at the door for $12. And for more on the Home Expo, let's bring in our guest today, Lauren Tucker. She is the executive officer of the Northwest Michigan Home Builders Association. Lauren, thank you so much for joining us on Unscripted.
Hi, thanks for having me. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day to you. And what a fun way to celebrate this weekend, especially for folks who do love their home and renovating their home and just checking out the current trends going around. So I'm sure there's a lot of people who show up to these home expos every year, but let's say there's folks watching who have never been to one. What can they expect?
Well, the home show encompasses anything related to the home building industry, from contractors to those businesses that support the industry and homeowners. So you have your mortgage lenders, you have marketing firms, you have all the different kinds of contractors, all the licensed trades are represented, and designers. Basically, anything that you would want to encounter related to your home can be found at the Home Expo.
So a little bit of everything.
Absolutely. Yep. And on Saturday, and I do want to make a small correction, our hours are from 9 until 5.
Oh,
and on
okay.
Saturday, we're hosting 3 workshops related to Building 101. Your journey starts here. It's a panel of experts, licensed and insured professionals, experts in their field, that are going to cover the ins and outs of home construction, remodeling, landscaping projects, all the different things that you need to know before starting a project, including aligning your expectations with realities, planning for financial budgets, all those things. You can get your questions answered, and then maybe find a trusted HBA member that can help you through that process.
So when it comes to these different seminars, do people need to sign up for them, or can they just show up?
They're free to anybody that's there. They're taking place. There's 3 options. There's one at 11, 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. on Saturday, and 1 p.m. on Sunday. And if you're there, you can pop in and you can ask your questions or just listen. And there's several options to attend.
So how many people do you expect at the event this weekend?
We usually see a couple thousand people come through. We have more booths than we've ever had. We have more floor space at the resort than we've ever had. There's some really beautiful displays and some really unique things, including some yard games that are brand new. There's a game called Flabachi, which has been just invented and I believe copyrighted. I'm not 100% sure how it's played, but I'm real excited to find out tomorrow.
So what are some of the biggest home design trends of 2025?
Well, we're seeing kind of a break away from the McMansion or the large craftsman or farmhouse builds, and we're seeing more energy efficient designs, which include more compact, including some of the smaller footprints, including ADUs, which is interesting because some of the zoning ordinances in our community have been changed recently to increase density in certain areas to accommodate the growing housing crisis.
And I know a big conversation when it comes to home renovations is always the cost of material, the cost of construction. And for the past couple of years, it seems like each year that has increased. Is that still the trend this year? Are we seeing higher prices?
Our prices are pretty stable right now. I mean, we can't really predict what's going to happen related to some of the international affairs, but we're prepared for it. We have seen a reduction in pricing and a more stabilization in that market. But there are so many factors that contribute to the cost of housing, including the regulatory space. Like, for instance, 20% of the cost of any construction project is related to that, whether it's studies that are needed, the permitting process, increased amounts of materials that are required due to code. Those are the types of things that really influence the cost of construction when we look at that are in our control, that we try to influence. The market is going to dictate what the cost of the goods are and what the cost of land is. And we know that we have, a pretty high priority on land in our area specifically. We're very lucky to live where we live, and a lot of people want to live here.
Definitely. And I'm sure if people have more specific questions related to any cost, they can probably get those answered at the Home Expo.
Absolutely. And if you stop by the HBA booth, you'll have an opportunity to talk with our legislative team from our state association. Our local association has been partnering with them on a pilot program for local legislative issues, because this isn't something that can be solved by any one party. And by working together, we can come to really good ideas that are going to promote housing in our area and make it fair and equitable for all.
Sure. So what a great event for, like I said, a little bit of everything when it comes to just the home world in general. What is your favorite part about this event?
Well, my favorite part about this event is our association is a group of competitors that are working together to further our industry and promote innovation and creativity. And this is really their opportunity to shine. There's not a lot that we do where we interact with the public outside of our two major events with the Home Expo and the Parade of Homes. And this is the chance for all of our members to be together. They network amongst themselves and make new connections and really get to show off their pride in their workmanship.
So, Lauren, we talked a lot about the basics of what people can expect when it comes to the Home Expo, but are there any other things that we haven't talked about yet that you think people should know maybe before they go or what they can expect once they're there?
I would say that this event is for anybody that's interested in something fun to do tomorrow. We're indoors. It'll be warm. We have refreshments that are available for purchase. And there's literally something for everybody. If you're interested in learning more about why housing is as complicated as it is, it doesn't mean that it can't be done, but it is a complicated process. Or you're just interested in knowing about the new trends, this is a great place to go. It's really for anybody, and it'll be a lot of fun.
And so you don't have to be renovating your home right now to benefit from going to this expo.
Absolutely. And a lot of our builders meet customers that may not be their customers for years, but you meet someone, you develop that relationship. Your relationship with your contractor should be as close as maybe with your sweetie. It's a long-term relationship and you have to have a lot of trust. So building that relationship, this is a great place to do it.
All right, Lauren, thank you so much for joining us on Unscripted and sharing a little more information about the Home Expo happening this weekend at the Grand Traverse Resort and Spa. We did mention that you don't have to be renovating your home to benefit from coming to this expo, but our question of the day is related to home renovations. Do you plan to, or have you done any renovation projects at your home in the next year? Scan the QR code on your screen right now. That'll take you to our website where you can vote. It's pretty split. So 45% are saying no, 41% saying yes, and then 13% say maybe. They'll maybe do a little renovation the next year. So we will continue to keep an eye on those live results and share the final results with you at the end of the show. One more story to share with you before we take our first commercial break, a pretty cool story out of the Upper Peninsula. So a pregnancy welfare program is expanding from Lower Michigan into the Upper Peninsula, and it's a public-private partnership called RX Kids. It gives unconditional cash to pregnant women to help cover living expenses. And our Daniel Zivian was there for the announcement and breaks down the program.
RX Kids calls it a prescription for poverty. Instead of giving out drugs, the program gives $1,500 a month to pregnant mothers.
If needs don't get met in that critical time of pregnancy and in that first year of life, there are problems that happen that will plague these children the rest of their lives.
Starting March 3rd, mothers in Alger, Chippewa, Luce, Mackinac, and Schoolcraft counties can apply for the program. RX Kids began in Flint last year and just came online in Kalamazoo.
People use these cash prescriptions on baby supplies. Babies are expensive. They need so much stuff, the affordability of having that stuff, but also on things like rent and transportation and utilities and food. We are seeing that evidence that, people have economic shocks during this period. And the most common shock is actually a car transportation. Their cars break down and they're able to use these resources to buffer that shock and get what they need.
The expansion is thanks in part to a $20 million item in the state budget. Both State Senator DeMoose and Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist say they like RX Kids for trusting families unconditionally.
And the thing that's important about RX Kids is that it is not placing artificial parameters around what people can do, because people know what their challenges are and know how to address them. This is about being grounded in the fact that we trust people to live their lives.
It's direct money to parents who are the ones in need. It's funded partially through public dollars, partially through private dollars. So the actual public has skin in the game. It goes right to where the need is. And I don't see a lot of programs that are just plain that efficient.
The program continues after birth, $500 a month for 6 months. Hannah says in just 2 days, more than 200 Kalamazoo mothers have applied. I'm Daniel Zivian reporting.
We have much more information on our website, UpNorthLive.com. Let's take a quick break, but Joe will have much more on your weekend forecast coming up next.
I'm Jada Johnson from Big Boys TV, and the Fish and Game Report is sponsored by Johnson's Propane.
Welcome back, everyone, and congratulations on getting through your work week. The weekend is right around the corner. For some of you watching, it probably already is your weekend. So, Joe, we know snow is on the way. Can we expect it to fall for most of the weekend?
Yeah, off and on through. Yeah, I would say that's a fair thing to say.
Okay.
Off and on through. I don't think the entire time, but, close enough coming up. We have more snow coming in. We're going to see most of this later tonight and then tomorrow and then even into Sunday, some snow showers at times as well. Nice view, though. This is Traverse City. Earlier today, 8th Street, that region or that part of town. Our UpNorthLive Skyview drone, Dan Tinknell, our drone operator out there, soaring overhead. A lot of snow on the ground. By the way, Traverse City's had 112 inches of snow. Normally 74 by this time of the year. So just an interesting fact there. Let's take a look at our travel coming up here as we head into the weekend. And yeah, we're going to go with poor conditions tomorrow. It doesn't mean you can't make it around, but it's just not going to be the best tomorrow with a light to moderate, rather steady snow in the forecast. And then Sunday, still some snow showers, and even Monday, President's Day, some lake effect snow will kick in. So caution on traveling those 2 days. Our entire viewing area, all the purple shaded areas under a winter weather advisory, much of the central UP, Wisconsin as well, until Saturday evening. We're looking at 2 to 5 inches of snow, just messy roads, messy travel. expected across pretty much our entire area. Now, here's a look at radar right now through this evening, and you can start to see the snow approaching from the west. There's not a whole lot happening here yet, and I know it's Valentine's Day night, but if you have plans the next couple of hours, not too bad. A lot of that snow will hold off until later tonight, but as we look at visibility, it gives you a better perspective on where we have that snow. So 10-mile visibility locally, no issues, but you see the reduced visibility off to the west, and that's where that heavier snowfall is starting to come down. Let's kind of take a look at the timing on this. There's the snow tonight through tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, rather steady snow, and then a low pressure will peel away to the east of us with snow on the backside of that right there during the day on Sunday. So here's a statewide look at the snowfall through the entire weekend. Yeah, right there, especially near Lake Huron is where some of the heavier snow will be. And then here's a more local look across our region. I'll go out about the next 24 hours. There's around 7:45 tomorrow. 2 to 3 inches, maybe 4 in a couple spots for northern Michigan. And then we'll see additional snow Saturday night to Sunday. And again, the higher totals near Lake Huron, especially there along US 23. Here's our forecast through next Friday, a week from now. And, this just kind of looks February-ish. Teens, scattered lake effect snow at times. No major storms. I mean, we do have that snow this weekend, Maya, but no significant storms coming in. But it is going to be cold next week, teens, and again, some of that lake effect snow.
Not a whole lot of sunshine in that forecast either.
Not a lot.
Dang it. That's okay. We'll survive. All right. Thanks so much, Joe. We're going to take another break, but we will check in with sports director Harrison Beebe. Another busy Friday night for high school hoops. He'll have a preview coming up next. As I mentioned, another busy night for high school hoops across northern Michigan. For a preview of all the action happening tonight, let's turn things over to sports director Harrison Beebe.
We are counting down to tip-off for another Friday night of hometown highlights. A lot of exciting basketball contests going down tonight. Let's go ahead and profile the games. We have Traverse City Central and Traverse City West meeting up for a doubleheader. The girls are playing right now. The boys will be right after in the Big North Conference. Of course, those two and Cadillac in the mix in the BNC standings. In the Northern Shores Conference, it is Elk Rapids hosting Charlevoix, two of the three teams involved in that conference race to go along with Harbor Springs. The Rams are on the road at Kalkaska. We'll also be grabbing those highlights. And in the Northwest Conference, it's a classic rivalry between the two girls' teams, Benzie Central and Frankfort meeting up. The Panthers have looked pretty good as of late. See if they can pick up a road win this Friday night. All those highlights plus a key scoreboard tonight during your Friday edition of Hometown Highlights. As the Big Ten basketball turns, we have some intriguing matchups this weekend. Michigan, Purdue, and Michigan State all are at the top of the standings with a say in what's going to go down in that conference over the last few weeks. The Boilermakers will be in a Saturday afternoon game with Wisconsin. Might be intriguing to check out. Those are two ranked teams. Tomorrow night, Michigan State will be visiting Illinois. It was not easy for the Spartans to beat the Illini in their building last month, and they've been struggling as of late. So a road test in Champaign is not exactly what the doctor ordered. Sunday, Michigan looking like the hottest team at the moment. They're going on the road to face Ohio State. That's always a key rivalry, even in basketball. See if Michigan can stay on top in the standings after a busy weekend in the Big Ten. We also know things will be going down in San Francisco in the Bay Area for the All-Star game for the NBA. Cade Cunningham, the first Piston All-Star since Blake Griffin in 2019. In fact, since 2008, there's only been 8 total Piston All-Stars. And that includes Andre Drummond twice to represent the Pistons on the grand stage of All-Star Weekend. We know Cade will be busy with the three-point shootout contest on Saturday night, and then he'll have the big All-Star game Sunday. Remember, that'll be the 4-team format with 2 semifinal games, and then the winning teams playing Sunday night. Cade is on Team Kenny for Kenny Smith from the TNT broadcast crew. That'll do it for sports. I'm Harrison Beebe.
Thanks, Harrison, and he will have highlights tonight on Up North Live News at 11 from all those high school games. All right, we are going to take a break, but we'll come back and check out our live results for our question of the day. Stay with us.
Salon services are furnished by Epiphany Advanced Academy in East Acme.
Have you or do you plan on doing a renovation project at your home in the next year? 42% say yes, 45 no, 13% say maybe. Misty says my bathroom has some flooring issues that need to be addressed, so most likely. Diane says have a lot of remodeling projects and money to pay for it, just need to find an available contractor. The Home Expo at the Grand Traverse Resort and Spa this weekend is your place, Diane. Thanks so much for joining us on Valentine's Day. Have a great weekend, everyone.